Hello everyone, welcome back to the day 4 of App Inventor. Hi, I'm still your tutor, Ijoma. So today, guess what we're going to create? We're going to create another wonderful working application. This one is going to blow your mind, right? And I know you can't wait to find out. So let's dive into it. What we have today is expense tracker app. So today you build your own expense tracker app. Okay, and by the time you are done, you should have something like this daily expense tracker app where you can jot down or type in and save all the expenses you made for the day. Okay, and then when you use your money, you can also come here and deduct it. Okay, so you track your expenses with this particular application. So this is what you are going to learn today. By the end of today's class, you will learn how to use text boxes for user input, how to use variables, store and update data, how to perform math operations like addition, how to use list view to display saved items, and again you are going to learn how to create a working expense tracker application by yourself. So what is daily expense tracker? This app helps users record their daily spending, key to be able to enter how much they spent and what they spent it on. The app will keep track of the total money spent and show a list of all expenses made. Real life use of this application. So when you are done creating this application and you have installed it in your phone, it helps students understand money, saving, and spending by keeping track of expenses. All right. So the next thing we have here of ours, the one I know you can't wait to see, is project of the day. Okay. So project of the day is right here. So this is what our interface will look like. So the first thing we are going to do, of course, is to create a new project as usual. Okay, we're going to create a new project and we are going to name it daily expense tracker application. All right, so after that we'll start coding. Can you see? So without wasting much time, let's head on to MIT App Inventor website and do it together. So there you go, we're here. Now click on new project and then name this project expense tracker application. Okay, expense tracker app, and it's saving, it's coming up. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. And there you go, we have it right here. All right. So the next thing we are going to do is to design our application interface, okay, by using some of the components right here. So the first component we are going to grab now is a vertical arrangement. Okay, so now we'll locate our layout, click on layout and drag out vertical arrangement, drag it out and position it right here. All right, let's go and change some of the appearance. So for the width, it's going to be fill parent, and for the height we're going to leave it at automatic. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to arrange it horizontal center, vertical center, and it is done. So now let's change the background color. Let's give it don't give it this pink. No, I need a lighter pink, so we're going to customize it. So now let's customize the color we want. Here is the pink. Let's grab a lighter one. Done. And there you go. We're going to do the same thing with the screen. We want the screen to have the same color with the vertical arrangement component. So background color is going to be, we're going to customize again. And somewhere here again. Now done. Alright. So now let's begin. Now you head on and grab a label. Position your label right here. And we're going to change this and type in daily expense tracker. Okay, change the text to daily expense tracker. Yeah, this way, daily expense tracker. So now we're going to check for the font bold, and now we're going to increase the font size to 26. I think it's too big. Let's make it 24. 24. Okay, it's better this way. Now we're going to change the text color to something bright. Change it to red. No, not white. Not white. A red color should be. I still don't like this red color. I think it's too shouty. So let's go and customize. And get something mild. Okay, this is not bad. Okay. Let me look up the color. Done. Alright, something like this is okay. So now we're going to grab 2 text boxes. Okay, we're grabbing text boxes. So now what we're going to do is to head on to this place and grab the text box. And you position it right inside the vertical arrangement, not outside. Inside, yeah, here. Okay. And then we'll grab another text box. Position it right here. Okay, now we have text box 1 and text box 2. So we're going to rename them. The first text box we're going to rename to description input. So click on it and then rename. Type in this description input. Description input, okay. And then for the second one, it's going to be amount input. That's where you'll be typing in the amount of money you have spent. But the description input is where you'll be typing in the item you spent it on. Alright, so now you're going to rename it to amount input. And okay, so now description input, the hint there, we're going to type in a hint. The hint we are going to type is what you spent it on. What did you spend on? Or it's kind of a question. What did you spend on, with a question mark? What did you spend on? So that will be the hint that will be displayed on your screen. All right, when you are done working on your project. So in the hint of the amount input, you're going to type in amounts. So whoever is using the app will know what you mean. And then you are going to add a $sign. Yeah, like this. Okay, so that will be the hint. Then you click on description. Okay, description is already what did you spend on, and then amount is amount still. Now it's time to add a button that I'll be using to add the expenses we've made. So now let's go to our user interface and search for button. We're going to place this button under this text box right here, and we're going to change this button to add button. Let's type it together, add button, and then okay. So now for the text, we're going to type in add expense. Add expense. Add expense. Okay, just like this. Add expense. So now we're going to make it bold. Font bold check. Font size, let's make it 18. Okay, then the color of the button should be background color green. Okay, and then the text color should be white. Text color should be white. Okay, just like this. And now it's time to add another label here. Okay, we're going to add a label, which will be our total label. All right, so label, where are you? Label is right here. Now position this label under the add expense button. Okay, and now we're going to type in, this is what we're going to type in the label: total spent. Total spent, which means the total money you spent. Total spent, and then you're going to add this, and then dollar sign, and then zero, dollar sign, then zero. Yeah, total money spent should be like this, and that is it. Now we're going to make it bold. Boldness check. Font size, I'll make it 18 again. Now I'm going to change the color to let's go and change the text color to, we're going to customize to go up. Okay, now the next thing for us to add is the list view. Okay, so click on your list view in your user interface, drag it to this place, and drop it under this label here. Okay, so now we're going to change the color, the background color. Change it to this color here. All right, and then for the text color, it should be black. Text color should be black. And there you go. Now there's remaining one more thing to add here before we move to the block editor. Next thing we're going to add is our TinyDB, of course. So go to storage, scroll down and grab your TinyDB, drag and place somewhere here. Remember, it's a non-visible component, so you're not going to be seeing it on the screen. So now let's head on to our block editor to start coding. All right, we're here now, so let's begin immediately. Click on your variables and get initialize global name. Okay, then we are going to change this to, we're going to change the name to total amount. Total amount. Now you go to your maths, search for zero block, drag and place it right here, and then start coding fully. Now you go down, search for your add button, then when add button is clicked, do this for me. Place this here. Now you go to your tinydb and look for call tinydb store value, place it inside the do socket here. Now you go to amount input and grab amount input dot text. Amount input dot text. Okay, it's right here. Then plug it in the first socket here. Okay, now you duplicate, place this one here, and we're going to change it to description input. Okay, the first socket should be amount input and the second should be description input. So the next thing we're going to grab now is a variable block. So scroll down, go to your variable. Okay, and then get set global total amount, which is this block right here. We're going to change this to total global amount, and you're placing it under this tinydb block here. Right, so we're going to lock it with another block. Now let's head on to maths and search for the plus block. All right, here's the plus block. Drag it out, position it here. Now you head back to your variable and get global total amount. This block here, drag it down. Then you're going to change this to global total amount, of course, and you're going to plug it right in the first space here. Okay, now the next block we'll be grabbing is the amount input. Okay, you can just duplicate this block right here. Now drag and position, and there you go. So now the next block we'll be getting again is called tinydb dots. So go to your tinydb. Okay, and then grab this block again, and now position it here. All right, so now go to your text and get this empty box here, plug it in the first socket on your tinydb block, and in there you're going to type total. Okay, so the next block we're going to get is get global total amount. Duplicate this one and then plug it in the second socket. So the next block we'll be getting now is set list view dot element. So click on your list view, search for set list view dot element. Set list view dot element. Okay, it's right here. Drag and place it under this place. Now you go to your tinydb, click on it, and look for the block named called tinydb dot get entries. Okay, it's here. We're going to plug it in this socket here. All right, so the next thing we are going to get is set total label. All right, our total label is this label 2, so click on label 2. Set label dot text 2. Set label dot text 2 is right here. Place it here. 2. get global total amount. So go back to your variable. You get this. You can as well decide to duplicate one of these blocks that you're seeing on the screen. Okay. All right. And that is it for the add button. So now we're going to code for when screen 1 initializes. Okay. So now I click on screen 1 here and get when screen 1. No, not this block. Delete it. We are looking for when screen 1 initializes. Okay, it's right here. Place it under the first set of block we've arranged, and then the next thing we'll do now is to set global total amount. So we go to variables again, set global total amount, place it here, change this to total global amount. Okay, then the next thing we'll be doing is to go back to tinydb. Okay, click on your tinydb and search for this block called tinydb get value tag. All right, this one here, and then you're going to plug it here. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this block here. So in the first, plug this one at the up socket. So the first socket here, this first space here, I'm going to type in total. And then for the second one, we're going to type in 0. Okay, and now we go and look for label 2. Set label 2 to set label 2 dot text. Place it here to this block get global amount. So the next block we'll be getting now is click on your list view and get list view dot elements. Set list view dot elements. Set list view dot elements. Let's look for it. Set list view dot elements. Position it here to go back to the tinydb. Tinydb does get entry. And it's time to run our project. Okay, so now click on your connect. Now I'll be using the AI companion. So go to your phone and open the AI companion app. Okay, now scan QR. Okay, let's wait for it. It's loading. Let's wait for it. And there you go. Here is our project. Okay, so you can now add any other thing. You see here, because I have already worked on this before, that's why I have it here. So the tinydb already saved it for me. Okay, so this is your project. So now you can type in what you spent on. I bought chocolate. What did you spend on chocolate? Amount, chocolate 100. You see it added up and it's saved here. Chocolate amount 100. You can also add another thing here. You can also add what I spend on candy. How much? 200. Add expense. You see it's added up. Okay, and that's how you can save and keep track of your expenses, of your daily expenses, and know how much you have spent from your savings. Okay, so that is it for today's class. All right, I'll see you in our next class. So bye for now.